What's up, everybody? This is Justin Daniel Finance, and I am Justin Daniel. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Really appreciate you being here today. And today I have some breaking news about one of my favorite stocks, which is Paysafe, ticker symbol PSFE. If you've been to this channel before, you may know that I've dropped a couple of other recent videos about Paysafe, because again, it is my biggest holding and one of my favorite stocks. The first one I dropped a little over a week ago was an overview of the company and why I think it's such a great company and a good stock to be in right now. More recently, just a few days ago, I dropped one kind of covering their most recent earnings report and what was going on with the numbers. Today, I have two pieces of breaking news that I can't wait to bring to you. And just real quick, if you are a fan of Paysafe like I am, please go ahead and hit that like button. And even more importantly, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because that's what's really going to help me grow and allow the channel to grow, to get more news and information about Paysafe out there, as well as some other stocks that I do like. Because Paysafe, while it is my biggest holding, is not my only stock I'm going to cover on this channel. I've mentioned that I love Palantir. I have several other stocks in my portfolio, and I do plan on making videos and having coverage on all of those stocks as well as some others. So, if you're not big on Paysafe, stay tuned for future videos. But today I do want to jump right on into the breaking news about Paysafe. And I want to give a shout out to some of the folks out there on Twitter. Here's my Twitter account if anyone wants to follow there as well. Definitely noticing that there's a good community out here of Paysafe investors, because trust me, I'm going to keep an eye on that and bring it to this channel to help get that out to people as well. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. The first piece of news that I want to bring is look at the institutional buying that has happened recently in the last few days. Guys, when I made that first video over a week ago, I highlighted the fact that there was, $40 million plus of new institutional buying going on. And I highlighted the fact that there was no selling and that, we're not even halfway through the quarter at that point in time, which is great. But look at it now. It is now well over 800 million, 850 almost. So that is fantastic. And if you look over here, there's still no selling, and you can see there's been some pretty big buys. You have a 20 million, you have a 5 million, you have a 12 million, but then you've got $638 million purchase from Fidelity. And guys, Fidelity is, a well-known, one of the biggest. They are huge. And so when you see a name like Fidelity buying 50 million shares of Paysafe, it really makes me feel good. That's a big position. The total float on the stock, and for those who don't know what float means, it means the number of outstanding shares, I think is around 725 million I checked. So, a purchase of 50 million that's a lot of shares. Look, they're not going to get into this stock right now. They're not going to get in if they don't see it really going up. So it's a great sign. More and more institutional are buying. We're not even halfway through the quarter as of yet, as the filming of this video, and we've got this tremendous amount of buying. So I'm really excited about that. And another thing, if you were to check out my past video, if you didn't see it, I encourage you to go straight to my channel, take a look at that. I kind of highlighted Paysafe compared to two other fintech companies. One is PayPal and one is Square. And if we look at the institutional buying that's going on with those two companies, it's not quite the same story. We look at PayPal, we see that they have about 6 billion right now sold. So compare that to Paysafe, zero selling. PayPal this quarter so far has 6 billion in selling. And I'm not knocking PayPal, it's a good company. I actually do have a small position in that as well. But if you compare the amount of institutional buying for PayPal right now, that's 6 billion compared to the 3 billion in buying, you got more selling than buying going on. And so that's a little bit of a, potential concern if you're a PayPal investor. Now, what about Square? If we look at Square, this is a company that has a market cap that's like 12 times of what Paysafe right now is big. It's almost $100 billion market cap, but they only have about 3 billion in buying right now, compared to, Paysafe's almost at 1 billion now. So 1/3 based on a, 1/12 market cap means there's relatively a lot more buying, and Square has selling going on. Square has about 3 billion, so roughly even on the amount of buying and selling going on there. So this was the first kind of piece of news I just wanted to bring to your attention and make you feel good about Paysafe, because you might be feeling like, hey, the stock kind of did get hit pretty hard last week for a few days. Yes, we had a nice day on Friday. In fact, Friday was great across the board for growth stocks. I think, in fact, in my portfolio, which I have dozens of stocks, I think every single one of them was green on Friday, which is cool. I don't know that that's ever happened, to be quite honest. The total portfolio was up 7%. I hope everyone else out there had a good Friday after, taking a shellacking Monday through Thursday. I would assume if you're similar to me, but that's okay. Again, we're long-term investors, at least I am. And so, this was just a chance for me to average down a little bit. I think I'm going to buy a little bit more next week if it's still down in this range. So with that said, I want to get into the second piece of news that I mentioned. I think it might be even more exciting than the first. So you can see here, this is from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, saying that Wynn Casinos is spinning off WinBet to a new company with the Knights owner. And the Knights, I think, is the local hockey team in Las Vegas. Bill Foley is the owner. And if you're not familiar with Bill Foley, I mentioned this on the previous video, but he is the guy who took Paysafe publicly, essentially. He's got a really good track record of success and is well known in Las Vegas and the betting community. And so it says here that Wynn Resorts is beefing up its sports presence with a plan to spin off WinBet, the mobile sports app, and merge into a new publicly traded company with Bill Foley. Company executives announced that during the earnings call, blah, 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 is that basically it's going to be a new stock, WBET. And we're confident that the transaction will unlock tremendous potential with Wynn Interactive to further accelerate growth and enable the business to capture a massive opportunity. Bill Foley is the ideal partner to ensure continued success. All right. So how cool is that? We've got Bill Foley, the same guy who took Paysafe public, taking another company public, and this is Wynn Casinos, such a very well-known brand in Las Vegas, and I think everyone out there has probably heard of this brand. Right now, they don't have the biggest position in online sports betting. I believe that it's Caesars and MGM, and you also have Penn, which is Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports, and I think Wynn has a single-digit kind of percentage out there, but I definitely feel confident that with someone like Bill Foley looking to continue to grow, that the percentage of the market share is probably going to increase. That's my opinion. That's not advice, but I feel pretty good about the possibility of market share increasing, and not only market share increasing, but also, again, as more and more states continue to legalize the online gaming, that's just going to be more and more room to grow. So, naturally, who's going to be processing all this volume of these payments, these transactions? It's going to be Paysafe. So I think this is big. I think this is great. These are two pieces of news that I'm excited about. Again, the institutional investing really skyrocketing lately in the recent days and weeks. That's awesome. You got a new kind of sports betting app coming online from a well-known brand that's definitely going to help grow within one of their niche markets that is such a high growth area for them to be processing payments, in my opinion. So these are two really good things. I hope everyone out there is excited as I am. I hope we're all going to make some money on this stock. I know that, again, it was a rough week last week. We'll see what happens in the coming week. But for me personally, as a long-term investor, I love seeing news like this that just makes me feel good about the future potential of Paysafe and how this company really has a chance to grow tremendously. So I'm going to wrap it up right here with this, but I got to say thank you again to everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support. Couldn't do this without you. I couldn't grow if you weren't out there, with giving the likes and subscribes and sharing the videos. It all really does mean so much. I thank you very much for all of that. And until the next video, I hope everyone out there enjoys the rest of your day. I hope we all make some money. And until next time, take care.